It's Paul Marsh, and I'm delighted to say that I have been joined by property expert and TV presenter Scarlette Douglas. Scarlett, how are you?
I'm very well. How are you?
I'm very good. It's nice to talk to you again. This seems to be like a yearly thing.
I know, right? I love it. It's in my diary, and I'm thinking, hang on a second, we're a week over or a week under. What's going on?
To be fair, I see you more than some of my family, and I'm okay with that.
Then I'm happy. As long as your family are all right with that, I'm happy with that. I'll take it.
Right, now we're going to talk about something very shortly about buying homes and what have you. But I have to ask, you have just got back from something pretty special, haven't you?
I have, and it's called Los Angeles.
How was it?
It's been amazing, honestly. So I got my green card last year, and I've been kind of living between LA and London and trying to build a career in California. Obviously, I have a great one here in the UK, which I love. But I'm trying to bring my property shows stateside as well, so that I can impart all of my knowledge to the Americans, which of course they have a lot of knowledge. Well, you'd like to hope they have not a lot of knowledge, but we can leave that one. We won't get into any politics.
No, 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 no.
But yeah, we'll move on from that. But it's been really great being in Los Angeles and making friends with some lovely people and seeing some beautiful houses. It's been amazing.
Now, it's been a while since I've been to LA. I think I was last there in 2015, but I went out there for about a month in 2010 for the Grammys, and it's just coming. The Oscars have just been, haven't they?
Yes, literally yesterday. And it is mental because they have like awards after awards after awards, especially the last couple of weeks. There have been so many different ones. There's always an event going on. There's always like a celebrity that you're bumping into.
Yeah.
It's glitz and glam. It's everything that I love. It's the wow factor, which I think is actually very pertinent because we're going to talk about properties and the wow factor and things that we're overlooking. So it's been really nice to kind of experience all of that. And now I'm obviously back here. I love it here in London. Not as warm, a little bit rainy.
Well, so I was going to ask you that because that's the funny because I was out in LA in February, and funny enough, even winter out there is warmer than what it is here, isn't it?
It's like 20 odd degrees. I'm waking up and the sun is out. I'm in a t-shirt and shorts. This is amazing.
Carla, I cannot think why you want to leave us and go to Hollywood. I
I
just don't
mean,
understand it.
yeah, I have no idea.
But luckily, you still know plenty about our homes here in England, of course.
Yes, I do.
We are looking for different things. Now, me and my wife, we bought our house, what are we now, 2025. So we bought it in 2021. It was
Right?
literally just out of that COVID bubble that we had over that Christmas period.
Yeah.
And we bought our house. So our children, they're going back 4 years, were 3 and quick maths 7. Um, so we were looking for a forever home, and we had to make decisions of this house is not perfect now, but we can see it being perfect in
Mhm.
5 to 10 years' time. And we are constantly working on all of those changes. Obviously, everybody's in a different position when they buy a house, aren't they?
Yeah, definitely. And I think it's important that some people have no knowledge at all. It may be their first time buying somewhere. Some people are seasoned professionals. But what has been shown now is Hive have recently done some new research to state that a lot of people are overlooking certain parts of a property, and that is sustainability. How efficient is that property working for you, especially when it comes to the energy? What are the important things to tick on your list that aren't just, wow, it looks so pretty? Obviously, my property shows, we mentioned how curb appeal is one of the most important things, or kind of within the first 30 seconds of seeing a property is what's going to make someone decide whether or not they want to progress with either the viewing or buying a place. But like you said, over time, we're going to have to spend a lot of money to make properties right. So why don't we start thinking about that from the beginning? Why don't we start looking at, you know, the EPC, what rating it's at, is there insulation, what home tech, e-tech products are there that's already in the property? We need to really start thinking about these things and stop looking at style over sustainability and try and put them at an equal playing field.
It's funny, isn't it? Some of the things that were really, really important to us 10 years ago. I mean, don't get me wrong, they're still up there, but they're not the most important things now, are they? I can't imagine 10 years ago looking at a home with solar panels and thinking, oh, we must have that. Whereas now, solar panels are going to be really high up on that list.
Absolutely. And I think it's important. Do you know what's funny? You say solar panels will be high up on that list. 19% of people think about solar panels. 33% of people think about a walk-in wardrobe. They would rather have a walk-in wardrobe to the solar panels. Now, if we really think about this, I think it's great. Listen, I would love to have a walk-in wardrobe. I get it. But this is where we need to start shifting our mindset. This is where we need to really start thinking about our carbon footprint, sustainability. Is this home going to work for me and my future? We can always put in at some point, I'm sure, a walk-in wardrobe somewhere, or we can make something work. But how much money are we spending out or are we wasting and losing every month because we haven't checked for insulation? These
Do
are
you
the
know
things we
what
need to start thinking about.
the crazy thing is that that is literally the problem we have with our house. The house where we have has got a third floor because it's had the attic converted into our bedroom,
Yeah.
and because the roof has kind of come out at a square angle rather than the slope. We
Yes.
cannot have solar panels on our house. We've looked into every possibility of getting solar
Yeah.
panels, and we just can't do
Can't
it.
do it.
It's and this is like I say, it's the heater pumps and the solar panels. We've looked into all of that, and we've looked into so many different things, and
Mhm.
it's not easy for us to do. If we round 5 years time, would we make a different choice? I really don't know, but I think it's something that we definitely would have been conscious of.
Right, and there you go. And obviously, that's the situation now. And I'm sorry to hear that that's the case. But obviously, for anybody that's listening, these are things to think about. These are
Yeah,
things to consider. Can I, in future, put a solar panel on the property? Can I, in future, install a heat pump? What other things, if you're in a situation now where, like yourself, Paul, you can't do those things, what can you do instead that's going to make the house as energy efficient as possible? Whether that is insulation, whether it's in the loft or under the
yeah,
floorboards or
yeah.
there are certain other things that you can do, I'm sure, that's going to make your house efficient. But as you said, in the future, or the previous you maybe would have considered that a little bit more. And people aren't doing that because we're not talking about it enough. So we want people to not make those mistakes, and we want people to think about their future and how they can be better with their carbon footprint and sustainability.
Of course, the other thing is pre 2020, if you go back to 2019, some of the costs for gas and electricity and things like that were manageable. It wasn't too bad. Whereas now, as we all know, our bills are sky high. So any way that we can, reduce that cost, like you say, if it's solar panels, if it's a heating pump, insulation, making
Yeah.
sure, the UPVC is all up to scratch and everything else like that. It's all on the list, isn't it?
Yeah, it's all on the list. And you know what's great? So Hive have an app where everything is on your phone, basically. You can check it on there, and that will tell you how much you're spending out. It will monitor certain things, it will budget things for you. So if you say, I want to save £5 this month, it's going to do it. People might think, what is £5 in a month, really? But actually, over a lot of time, that's all going to accumulate. That's a lot of money. Then you can use that money to go and buy some more clothes to put in your walk-in wardrobe if you want to. But ultimately, we need to start thinking about what we can do to save our money. Get a thermostat, check it, have a look at prices, have a look at your energy bills. Why is it that this month it's a lot more expensive than that month? Where can you save a little bit of money here? So we just need to start being more mindful, basically.
It's funny, isn't it? I think people have changed their attitudes. I think things like a driveway is always going to be top of people's priorities.
Yeah.
Doesn't matter where you live. You always want a driveway. But I think the sustainability side of things is creeping up and getting more and more important now. If people want to look into maybe making their home a little bit more sustainable, if they want to look into things like that, where would be the best place for them to go, do you think?
Definitely head over to hivehome.com. They've got so much information there. They have so many different products. Everything is connected, as I said, to this one app. You can do research online. Governments offering grants for certain schemes when it comes to solar panels, if it's possible with your property. Hive also can offer solar panels, so that's definitely something to consider and to think about. But also be aware that 70% of people are willing to pay more for a property that already has
Yeah.
these things in place. So let's start thinking about it now. You might be buying a place that's going to be your forever home. You might be buying a place that you might only be in for a few years. But if you start thinking about these things, if you start adding in certain aspects of it and products that are going to make it more sellable and more appealing in the future to any potential buyers, then you're setting yourself up for moving forward.
100% agree with you there. Scarlett, thank you so much for talking to me. I really do appreciate it. And just
Thank
to
you.
let you know, I have got a really, really big suitcase that I reckon I could get in. And if you need an assistant, if you need some help, I'm
Yep.
willing to put myself forward.
Fantastic. Then you're in. That's it. Tick.
Scarlett, it's been lovely to talk to you. Thank you so much and enjoy the rest of
Thanks,
your day.
Paul. Take care. You too. Bye bye.